Hi, readers. I'm excited to see you back. Today marks a very important and exciting day. Today we launch into book clubs, and that means that you get to read in the company of not just one friend, but many friends. And today you have the opportunity to pick some books that your teacher has chosen for you. So right now, if you haven't already picked those books, go ahead and do that now. And then come right back. So readers, you are in book clubs, and book clubs are a great social experience to talk about your reading and to dig deeper into the text that you're reading. I'm excited for you. So we are marking a new bend in the road, a new bend in the unit, and that means that we're doing some new work. Last bend, we looked at a character from start to finish and dug deeper. In this bend, we're going to be studying characters in relation to the story, how all characters have a similar journey. And so that means we wouldn't just tell a story like Diamond woke up, she brushed her teeth, she went to school, she came home, she went to bed. That's a boring story, right? No. Instead, all stories have characters encounter problems. And so you can think about the story arc. Can you make the shape of the story arc? The problem is a main part of the character's journey in a story. So today what I wanted to teach you is this, that you can expect that characters will encounter problems, work to solve them, and finally, in the end, resolve some of their biggest problems. So today, we're going to take a little bit of a pause from Make Way for Diamond Daniel and look at a new book, Peter's Chair. And as we look at this new book, and I read it aloud from start to finish, I want you to think, does the problem get better or does the problem get worse? So practice with me. Does the problem get better or worse? So as we look at some of these pages and I pause, you might show me your thumb going up if you feel like the problem is getting better, thumb down if the problem is getting worse. Okay? So Peter's Chair by Ezra Jack Keats. Peter stretched as high as he could. There, his tall building was finished. Do we see a problem yet? No, not yet. Crash! A lot of you were putting your thumbs up. The problem is definitely introducing, right? Here's a problem right here. Okay. Crash, down it came. Shh, called his mother. You'll have to play more quietly. Remember, we have a new baby in the house. So the problem has been introduced. It's a little sticky in the book. Problem here. Let's see. Okay, problem getting better, problem getting worse. Remember that. Peter looked into his sister Susie's room. His mother was fussing around the cradle. That's my cradle, he thought, and they painted it pink. Your problem getting worse? Oh my gosh. Hi, Peter, said his father. Would you like to help paint sister's high chair? It's my high chair, whispered Peter. You're putting your thumbs down. Yeah. He saw the crib and muttered, oh, my crib, it's painted pink too. Not far away stood his chair. They didn't paint that yet, Peter shouted. Okay, let's pause here for a second. Is the problem getting better or is the problem getting worse? Show me with your thumb. Many of you were doing this. Can you say why? Why is the problem growing from the beginning? Yeah, likely you're saying that not just he has to keep quiet, and when he's building and a little accident happens, he also has to share his things with his new sister, His stuff's getting painted pink. Oh my goodness. Poor Peter. I'm going to put a post-it here to show that the problem is growing. He picked it up and ran to his room. "Let's run away, Willie," he said. Peter filled a shopping bag, cookies and dog biscuits. "We'll take the blue chair, my toy crocodile, and the picture of me when I was a baby." Willie got his bone. What do you think? Is the problem getting better here? He's definitely taking action. He's trying to do something about it. He's leaving and he's taking his chair. But I think running away definitely feels like the problem's getting worse. So he's not just miserable in his own home, but now he's leaving. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say his problem grows worse here. So we can put a little post-it in there. Okay. Keep reading. They went outside and stood in front of his house. "This is a great place," said Peter. He arranged his things very nicely. He decided to sit in his chair for a while. Chair. But he couldn't fit in the chair. He was too big. Oh my gosh. I bet some of you are thinking the problem got even worse. Not only does he want to guard his things, but now he's not even fitting in the things that he's so protective over. Oh my goodness. His mother came to the window and called, "Won't you come back to us, Peter dear? We have something very special for lunch." Peter and Willie made believe they didn't hear. But Peter got an idea. Soon, his mother saw signs that Peter was home. "That rascal is hiding behind the curtain," she said happily. I feel like the problem's getting a little better. Seems like Peter's come home. He's working his way back to his family, his relationships. I think the problem, this feels like it's a turning point. He's come home, right? He's making some steps to resolve the problem. She moved the curtain away, but he wasn't there. "Here I am," shouted Peter. Okay, yeah, definitely it seems like he's come home and he is got a really good sense of humor. He's hiding, playing a joke on his mom, shouting. He looks happy. Feels like that's a turning point. So we're not just working all the way up the story mountain. We're kind of at the top right now. Peter made a little choice. Right, he's coming back down. Peter sat in a grown-up chair. His father sat next to him. "Daddy," said Peter, "let's paint the little chair pink for Susie." Oh my goodness. And so they did. I see big thumbs up. I bet I see big thumbs up here. Yeah, he is now not just coming home, but he has changed his mind. He's going to share his things with his sister Susie. So it feels like the problem has been resolved. We're all the way at the bottom. So do you see, readers, that it's really important? We know that it's not just studying one character in one book, but we know that all characters follow the same shape of a story. They work to problems, they work through the problems, and then they get to that point where they make a decision, and then they start to come back down to a resolution and work to solve that problem. So if we think a little bit about what the Peter's Chair story mountain looks something like this. His blocks crashed, his mother quieted him, his dad painted his crib pink, his dad painted his high chair pink. He's still working up that problem, it's getting worse. And then he gets to the point where he can't take it anymore, and him and little Willie run away with the chair. But then, that turning point where we start to see him come down the story mountain and solve the problem. Peter came home. He played a little joke on his mom. And then, finally at the end, he resolved his problem. He realized he was too big for that chair and that he should just give it to Susie and help paint it pink. So, readers, it's important to make sure that we know that all characters follow the same shape. And you're probably thinking right now about the shape of the story that your characters are getting, were just got ready to go across from the books that you read. But now you're reading a new book, and you could start to be thinking about how you're going to be seeing problems grow worse and worse and worse and then become resolved. So one thing you might try today is to make a little story arc for yourself. And it could be a book that you just finished, or you could start a story arc for your club book that you're about to start, so that you can see and track the problems the character experiences time and time again, and how that character works to resolve those problems, and then finally, in the end, what the solution is. So today is really exciting. You have your club books, so decide how much you will read. We're reading about 30 minutes, so roughly about 30 pages, maybe a little less, could be a good goal for yourself. And then you also want to think about the shape that all stories follow, okay? And take some of that work on. So happy reading today. I'm excited to see how you and your club enjoy your new books and the rich conversations that you have about them. I'll see you next time.